Live.
Hello and welcome to the cool show. And this is K, Hank, Jost. And I always wanted to know what the K stood for.
My first name is Keith.
Oh, okay.
I really don't like that name.
That's okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I just made you.
You've outed myself.
Yeah. Yeah. See, we're already getting the hard hitting exposés over here.
All the secrets are coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, Hank is a writer, and I was telling people, he's a writer and a saxophone guy and a bass guy, and that's to my knowledge the things that you do. He's also a bartender. Yeah. But I was mentioning the artistic stuff because we're artists here. Yeah, we all have
to have a job.
We all have to have speaking of, I'm actually gonna be helping. Well, I guess everybody who's watching this can know this too. I'm gonna be helping Skylar at Old Timers do a coffee thing there during the day.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I'm starting working on it soon.
You're gonna be doing coffee at you are gonna be doing coffee at Old Timers?
I mean, I'm gonna be in charge of it, and I'll be doing it sometimes, but there'll be other people too.
Word.
I'm not gonna do it all the time.
Daytime.
Yeah.
Coffee shop, nighttime bar.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty Bushwick.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, yes, and it's also to me. I mean, this is fucked up, but to me, it's just kind of funny that it's right next to the methadone clinic. It's
that? All right, that explains a lot about Old Timers.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of why the dining, the outdoor dining area is
a hang.
Yeah, is a methadonian. I got that from Lindsay. She got it from somebody else, but
I got it from the Dopey podcast, but I don't think the Dopey podcast got it from their podcast. I think they got it from someone else.
But yeah, there's a lot of methadonians out and about.
Methadonian's a good book title. Or a great band name.
Yeah, oh!
Methadonians is a fantastic band name.
Yes, it is. Holy shit. Okay. No, nobody, if I find out that you named your band that, I'm gonna have to ask for some
compensation.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have some compensation.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, because yes, because I want, if I ever have a band, I want to call it that. So don't fucking name your band that.
Well, we've accomplished anything today. Your band has a name.
Yes, Methadonians, which is funny because I have personal experience with Methadonians, not just from the Old Timers fauna. Is that?
Flora is real though.
Yeah,
Fauna's rough. Fauna is rough. Jesus. Methadonian already sounds really scientific. Saying it's a David fucking Attenborough documentary. The fauna of Old Timers.
The fauna of Old Timers. Look, there's a Methadonian.
You ever see a raving pack of Methadonians taking a nap?
There's a 35-year-old alcoholic attempting to take home a 22-year-old female who has no interest whatsoever. They're actually, I don't know if old. I wonder. I think I'm maybe one of the oldest people that hangs out at Old Timers, which is funny considering.
Old Timers is a weird place because I don't live in Bushwick or Ridgewood or Williamsburg or anywhere close. I live down in Sunset, and so I only ever go to Old Timers when I'm randomly in the neighborhood or there's something to do there. So it's always either the emptiest bar I've ever seen,
Yeah.
or just like filled with people that I already know.
Yes.
Like it's not a place I've ever wandered into and met somebody.
Yeah.
Most I've ever done is like, what's your name again?
Yeah, exactly.
We met in some basement 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I've met in basements like 4 years ago. Or hi, Lindsay.
Hi. We didn't actually meet in the basement, but I feel like we should have.
Yeah, Lindsay and I met. Lindsay is the Roz to my Frasier. She is. Anyway, just like compared myself to Kelsey Grammer, but
Are you a crossdresser?
no,
Is
it's
Kelsey
me.
Grammer a
He is.
crossdresser?
Oh my god. Nothing
but hard hitting news.
You made me completely forget what I was gonna say,
Sorry.
and then but no, this is like a cool thing. My friend Neil Vindrick, who like if you're watching this,
Hi,
hello,
Neil.
So,
he had this idea to do an Orson Welles biopic with Kelsey Grammer playing Orson Welles, and I'm like, holy shit, that is amazing. That is also if anybody does that. You're fucked because I know that you took my friend's idea, so don't even go there.
Copyright.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah, we have to. I'll have to. Can you do a banner that says copyright on the?
Every word of
Yeah,
this show
every
is
single word
copyrighted.
of
This
this.
is all scripted.
Yeah, we prepared for this.
100%.
Do I have to? I'm confused.
No,
I'm
you
not
don't
doing
have to.
this.
Yeah, no.
I'm going back. Okay.
No.
commitment to the bit.
No.
Sorry.
commitment.
Sorry. I'm sorry. This is bad
Okay.
pod
Yeah.
or bad cast.
What
Is it
is
a pod?
this? What is this?
Show.
It's a show.
Bad show.
It's a show. That's what
It's a cool show.
It's a
Cool
cool show. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about what you think about because we were talking about this before, like all the that scene, that downtown film scene with the Ion Pack people and all that stuff.
Right.
Because I know people that are tangentially connected to that, and I think that they're cool, and I've been to things with Ion Pack, and I think that they're funny and whatever. But then I know people that are they're the worst edgelords on earth or whatever, and so I just wanted to know what your personal.
I mean, as with everything that I've come in contact with in New York, I have the little scene that I know well. And then, the scenes that some of my friends operate within. And then there's just stuff that you find out about. And I feel Ion and, the whole, Dime Square, Drunken Canal, all that stuff is, something that I found out about and looked at and was I don't think I understand this.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like friends broadcasting their social circle, And I think there's some cool work that comes out of that. I know Montez Press is sort of associated with that Canal Street area in Manhattan, but I don't know if it's just because of proximity or whatever, or if just everyone goes to fucking Clandestino at some point.
Yes.
But I think the stuff that Montez Press does is really cool, and that I will never remember how to say his last name, but that one director, Eugene something, he did Spree and We Are, and I think his films are interesting.
I like his. I saw Spree at Sundance in 2020, and actually,
I did not know it played at Sundance. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and he's one of he's Peter Vack.
Right.
He's one of his best friends, I think. Because
that's how I found out about a lot of those guys. What's her name? Betsy Brown, Peter Pack. All of that whole scene. I think I found out by way of Eugene's movies.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
No, what's funny, and I feel weird about talking about Peter, because I know him. But the way that I found out who he, or knew who he was at all originally, was through this fucking show on HBO that is like, his character on that show is so like, well, I think that like the genuine aspects of the character, like the kind of, or of his personality are in there, but like there's no subversiveness to this character whatsoever.
Right.
He's like wholesome. This is a very, very wholesome character. And so I was like, I watched this show called Love Life, and I was like, oh, okay, there's this dude, whatever. It was just like, that's the dude who plays the main character's best friend's boyfriend. Okay, that's like my signifier for this person.
This is all before you knew him
Yes.
personally.
Yeah,
Right.
and then I reviewed this movie called Private Chat. Which, did you see that?
I haven't seen Private Chat.
Yeah,
I've
good.
seen like the trailers and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, what's her name?
Julia Fox.
Yeah, Julia Fox.
Yeah.
Like her first thing before Uncut
Yeah,
Gems.
and then like Ben, who was on here a couple weeks or last week.
We went real hard with doubles last week.
Yeah, we did double last week. So
time
Ben
isn't real.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So at some point in time, Ben was here, and he's the director of that movie.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, but like, so then I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck? Because it's very, very different character. And then like I ended up interviewing like Ben and Peter and the producer Oliver, David, who's really cool. He lives in London, I think, still. But I interviewed them for Film Threat, and then I was just like, when I was talking to Peter, I was just like, do you want to hang out? Because like I just thought that he seemed cool.
Right.
And then like, and so we hung out. And then like I harass him on Instagram all the time. And that's yeah. And like I found out about this shit, and I don't know if anybody like has heard about it, but I found out about this through listening to some podcast or something. And I realized that sometimes I can be one of these. But there's a thing called a reply guy. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah. I really love your work.
Yeah.
That meme you posted was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Sorry to double like it. Yeah, absolutely. If this was MySpace, I'd put you in my top 8.
Oh god. So like I can be kind of a reply guy to people that I get excited about their work and shit. And then I'm like, oh fuck. Like I didn't know that that was a thing until I heard about it the other day.
Isn't that what this like social media shit was for though?
Yes,
to,
like why
connect
don't you what is the messaging thing for? Is it not to message people?
Right.
Lindsay, don't forget to hit the thing every once in a while so that
I've been doing that, don't worry.
So
we're looking at the weather over here, we're concerned.
Oh, what's going on with the weather?
Amy, our weather girl, says how's the weather? What's up?
It's gonna snow tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. That's in a whole day.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not snowing tonight.
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's
Is it
good.
supposed to snow bad tomorrow?
Oh, I hope not.
No.
A friend of mine is supposed to
It's a National Weather Service
fly
winter advisory.
in town tomorrow from Chicago. So we'll see if that happens. LOL. But anyway, yeah, the reply guy thing made me so self-conscious because I'm like, dude, like, but also I get both sides of the coin because like I have people who I don't think that they understand the fact that that I don't have the power to like make them a Hollywood celebrity or something. And I'm like, and also because I'm like, do you realize that I'm not like, that I myself am like not a big deal at all, so how the fuck could I make you like any more important?
I think there's like the substance to like the reply guy. There's like a type of message that it is, and it is one that's trying to get like a favor done for you.
Yes.
Or like just like kissing someone's ass. I think it's like totally different to like reach out to people that like whose work you admire.
Yeah.
Or whose like internet personality you like and be like, hey, I see you.
Yeah.
I think your shit's dope. Anyway, deuces. You know, like, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
So
I
I'm
hope
like,
it's fine.
yeah, I hope it's fine too. But no, like that was but I was sort of like I thought about that and I was like, oh god, I hope fucking Peter doesn't think that I'm a reply guy. So Peter, I'm not a reply guy if you're watching this. But anyway, but I get reply guys. Have you ever had anybody reply guy you?
I am nobody. I
But
am like absolutely nobody. I have like
That's not
like
true.
zilch platform. Like, it is my post to like ratio is like dismal.
yeah,
It's-
I mean, I wasn't like, I don't do that. I don't go and look at like people's numbers or whatever. There's people that fucking do that.
I got numbers.
I mean, Lindsay likes to tell everybody that she's a celebrity, so I'll just go ahead and like let
Weird.
That's a
them
really quick way to become a celebrity. It's just like
say that
especially
you're
if
a
you interact with enough people. You
Yeah.
talk to 20 fucking people in a day. And
Yeah,
tell them you're all a celebrity. Like, tell
yeah,
each one of them that you are a celebrity. That's 20 people that think you're a celebrity. They're
yeah,
not Googling it. They don't give a shit,
yeah.
right? And then they tell their friend, I met a celebrity. What was their name? Like,
I don't know. It's on Instagram, and there's like a picture of her eating. There's a picture of Lindsay eating spaghetti that's very famous, and taken by
Jesse
our
Warner.
There's some in
friend
that
Jesse
bag.
Warner.
Yeah, there's some in that bag.
Let's see. So yes, this is Lindsay. Lindsay, do
It's on a
you?
postcard?
Yeah.
Hi, Jesse. We're promoting you. JesseWarner.com.
So if is anybody watching? Does it say?
One.
Okay. So
Hi.
Hi, one person watching. Do you have any experience with reply guys? You can put a comment if you want to. But
Are they typing?
I don't know.
No, I had to go back to the comments.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'm just like I think that's like the funniest thing, the reply guy thing.
I wish I had reply guys.
Yeah.
That would be like, I feel like I'd like take one step up
Yeah.
in that.
I have some. Well, yes, I do definitely, but it's in a different way. It's like, well, I have a couple that are more like, or there's this person on Facebook that I don't know that I like added as a friend that's always like, oh, do you want to go to this thing, or like I'll go with you or whatever. Like if I say like, do you want to go to this, and they're like, yeah, sure, and I'm like, okie dokie,
I don't
like
know
that's
you.
cool. It's like I'm sort of just want to be like unsubscribe or whatever.
Right.
Just comment.
No,
like,
I don't think I've ever posted a story like that on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, where it's like, I'm going to this, who wants to come? But I've
Yeah.
seen people do that,
Yeah.
and I always wonder who the fuck answers that.
Yeah.
Like, did you text your friends?
Yeah.
Like, are they not coming? Why
Yeah.
is it like?
No, I mean sometimes, believe it or not, like I like am not surrounded by like thousands of fans or whatever at all times. So
Lori, I've always known you by your entourage. Never seen you walk into a room
without one.
without like a carnival behind you. Right? That just might be the setting that I see you in general.
Yeah.
It's like weird art shit.
Yeah. I mean, that is true, though. I mean, I'm thinking about it, and most of the first time I met you was at Gamba.
Yeah, the old spot
Yeah.
out in like East Williamsburg or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like my third week living in the city.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
no.
whoa. Then how did you get connected to that so quickly?
So like, when I moved here, like the first thing I did was like Google, because I'm a fucking hick from the South that moved here from the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I Googled was like literary bars, New York City, right? where like writers advertise where they hang out or something. And I found out about that spot KGB, and I went there, and there was like a flyer or something for Erica Schreiner's old open mic at the Living Gallery
at the Living
Outpost.
Gallery,
And the night I went there, like the next week or something, I met Erica, I met Alex Aguirre, he was doing Door.
oh yeah,
And it's about fast friendship. You know Alex, right?
yes,
Yeah. We both read at this reading, and he walks up to me afterwards, he goes, I really like your stuff, you want to play chess?
What?
And then, like, have hung out with him almost like every
That's
week
really funny.
since then, and now he lives with me.
Oh wow.
Like,
yeah, I don't like. I've met him before, is what I should say. I don't
Right.
like. No, that's not what I could say about a shitload of people.
Yeah,
is that like
absolutely.
I've met them, but I don't like. There's people though that like, which is weird about social media, is that there's people that you're friends with on social media, but then if you like see them in real life, like it's awkward.
yeah, like, are we actually, can
Yeah.
I talk to you?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
You just, there's definitely people that I follow that I would never walk up to in public.
Yeah.
And then there's people that I've followed that I perceive to be like somewhere
Yeah.
above me in their career or something, and you reach out to those people and say, like, not as a reply guy or whatever, just say, hey, what's up, I like your work, and
Yeah.
the conversation starts, and it can be kind of cool sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Like,
I'm trying to think if there's anybody I follow that follows me that I'm like, that I wouldn't feel comfortable talking to in like a public setting, like, or like walking up to apropos of nothing. No, there was one guy. Yeah.
for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but it's really cool. Brett Easton Ellis follows me, and like I fucking love him. So it rules. So that's kind of an edgelord comment, whatever. But like he rules, and that's somebody that I'd be like almost like terrified to talk to
Yeah, for sure.
in real life.
For sure.
But I know people that I have a friend who's a journalist who like knows him actually pretty well, and he's not, as scary as one may assume.
I think most people are kind of chill.
Yeah.
Like, I have had very few experiences with like other artists that I admire talking to them in public and having it go poorly.
Yeah.
It's happened like maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
And
There was someone, and I like obviously won't name names. I'll tell you later.
Hard hitting stuff for you.
And I'll tell you when we're done. But
I'll post on Instagram.
Yeah, because you'll know who it is. But,
oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's why I'm not saying.
Okay.
This person I was introduced to them by one of their friends, and they're like, this is Lori, she's a writer, and she's like, oh, and then she was just very dismissive, and she wasn't like a hero of mine, but she was someone that I was very aware of, and was like, whatever, and I was kind of like, oh boy, like, ugh, and I've kind of like, and I still like see this person around occasionally, and I've just never like, since that interaction, I've never like thought to try to interact with them again, because it wasn't like it was overly malicious, but it was just kind of like, oh, I've been writing forever, and like, who are you? It's like a gatekeeping sort of thing. It was like, and I'm like, dude, you're in your fucking like probably 60s and you're fucking gatekeeping. Like, are you not too old for that shit? Like, Jesus.
The writing world is weird though.
Yeah.
Like, I've known people that have like made it into things on the publishing end that I knew before they were in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, I don't know if it's like super busy work or whatever. I'm outside of the institutions and outside of the scene insofar as I can tell. So
yeah.
I don't know, but you can't get anybody's attention. you know.
It's hard. It's very hard. Like,
And it's not me complaining so much as it is just like, how does it work?
I really couldn't tell you. I mean, I think that this is a jaded perspective, but I think, in reality, I think that a lot of it has to do with knowing people and which entails going to fucking everything and talking to people forever and
Right.
like, just being like this, which like this endless font of like social wonderment or
But
whatever.
that means that means that everyone involved, if that's the case,
yeah.
that means that everyone involved at that level is like a conniving careerist sociopath, right? Like to be in that position, if that's what it takes to be there.
Hi, Brady Snellis.
What? So like, but I don't know.
I mean, I think that there's probably different types of people that make in that position. You know, there's people that get there like just by point of privilege.
Yeah.
Right. Born into a family that works in that environment, goes to the school,
Yeah.
has their foot in the door,
and it's just
automatically
right there.
Right? There's the people that would like go to the like take the completely institutional route and work their way up
Yeah.
and grind, and then there has to be like the social climber.
Yes.
Right?
And then
And
there's the outsider.
I just wonder constantly about this because it's something that like I've got a book coming out in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
I've got this podcast thing going on, this multimedia project, another novel I'm trying to get published, all this stuff, right? And I'm wondering, how does anyone have any time to write anything if like this is how the industry works? And that's not even jaded. I'm legitimately asking that question.
I can sort of answer that, or at least what I think. Because I have been put into a weird position to where, like, I'm about to start working again, but I haven't had to work for a long time. And part of it was because, like, my dad died, and, like, I think that when people don't have to go to a day job, like, and bartend or whatever, that the fucking networking is part of your job. That's like what you look at it as and that it's just like part and parcel of the whole deal, that you have to kind of like, and you've seen like movies where they're like the curmudgeon writer or director like doesn't want to go to the party or the awards ceremony or whatever, blah 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 blah, and it's like, as much as you're kind of like, oh, go fuck yourself, it's like I can sort of also relate to that in a way, but it's like, yeah, I think that the answer is that they have the time because they don't have to have like certain people once you've like made it or whatever, like, or you have a trust fund or you are on unemployment or like whatever, like you can just kind of make the networking be your job.
Right.
And I think that people do that. I think that there's people that like take it that seriously, and those are the people who like have kind of instant success, sort of.
Yeah, that's like, you're right there. The factor is, it's to make work, you have to make work, right?
Yeah.
But to get work seen, you have to network, be a part of the quote-unquote community,
yes,
be in the mix,
yes,
and to be in the mix and have work, and have work made, you have to have time to do both of those things.
Exactly.
And if you have a fucking day job,
exactly,
you don't have time for at least one of those two things.
Exactly,
right?
That's the truth.
You're either constantly networking with nothing to show for it,
yeah,
or you have a pile of shit and no way to show it.
I can say that, like, what sucks about or that's the wrong way to say it. Well, that my strength or whatever has always been the networking part. And then, like, I mean, of course, like, I write and whatever, but it's easier for me to, like, especially, I mean, I think I've talked to you about this, that, like, writing the screenplay for me is really difficult. And for me, it's, like, so much easier to talk about it than to actually fucking do it.
Right.
But I think that people are just wired differently.
I mean, I have the
that
opposite
way.
problem.
Yeah.
Like, I've got pages and pages of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to talk about it at all. You know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's why you need to, and I don't ask me how to do this, but if anybody knows, like, I mean, that's why you should have, like, a, some kind of agent or something.
I think that's what they're for.
Yeah, that's what they're for.
And I've been after I finished the novel I wrote, I finished it at like final draft, as edited as like I as one person could get it, right?
Yeah.
Finished it last March, and I sent it to a lot of agents, right?
Yeah.
Fully expecting rejections, right? The one thing I did not expect is not hearing back.
Yeah.
That's like so much worse than a rejection.
It is,
Like if
but it's normal.
a no is fine. The absolutely no response is like, oh man,
Yeah.
like you are nothing.
Yeah, it's like we don't have it. We have like so little time that we can't even acknowledge your existence. But that's
Right.
like
I understand
that's
it's
so
part
normal.
of it's like part of the industry and the way that things are done. I understand that. It is like a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's just yeah, that's like it's so funny because, and I think this is kind of true, is that a lot of people who are artists in whatever form are like really, they're like subconsciously seeking attention in some way, so rejection is like the worst thing ever.
Right.
But it is being involved in this industry is the industry where you're going to receive the most rejection ever.
Yeah, constantly.
It's like, and it's like you hate rejection, but that's like what you're going to receive more than anything else. And
But
it's like it's funny to me.
I think that's what's important about like the way that we met and the way that I've met so many people here in New York, and you have no doubt as well, is meeting in a community of artists who are like just making shit.
Yeah.
You know, like a room full of like nobodies, soon to be somebodies, never gonna be anybody's.
Yeah.
And all just like hanging out for like the pure sake of like, you wrote a poem this week? Fucking, you wanna read it? That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Cool. Is it good? I don't fucking know. But hey,
Yeah.
like, thank you for sharing. And here's some of my shit and here's some of your shit. And let's all hang out and talk about it like we know what we're talking about, and like indulge each other a little bit and take each other seriously and encourage each other. Like
there needs to be like more stuff in Brooklyn as far as open mic, or I kind of hate open mics, but just more like poetry stuff in general.
yeah, more readings, more writing community is hard. Like,
yeah.
To have a community of people built around an activity that is not only produced in a solitary fashion, but largely consumed in a solitary fashion. It's kind of like paradoxical.
Hold on, is something wrong?
Oh, we're just discussing filming techniques.
Okay. There's some behind the scenes stuff.
We are trying to podcast.
Up next on Joe Rogan.
I mean, should the camera be horizontal?
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. We tried. The
Yeah.
bodega, sadly, the bodega one was filmed that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that why
We're learning. This is
Yeah.
learning.
Notice because it was
Yeah.
horizontal.
We're learning. We're getting a better camera soon.
I feel bad. That
Support the Patreon when we set it up.
Yeah, we need to we're gonna do all this real shit.
Let's stop doing that right now. Let's get the laptop going. Let's this is real content. This is us building the Patreon.
There needs
for
to,
this
I mean,
project.
like everybody who has a podcast has a Patreon, I guess. So I guess I should have one. I just think all this shit is so obnoxious, but it's like it's necessary, I guess.
This is
in
what
order-
networking has become. It's setting
Yeah.
up like online ways of people just directly giving you funding,
Yeah,
which
Which-
feels perverse in some sort of way. We all have
but
to
it's
do
also
it, right?
kind of cool in a way. But
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
like it's kind of gross. at
Being
the same
directly
time.
connected to your audience, you know, I think that's something that like the publishing like institutions and the record label institution like does for the artist is like the artist doesn't have to directly ask for money anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's asking for money sucks. Like
Yeah.
no one likes asking for money.
No, I mean that's the worst part of the whole deal of being a creative person is having to ask for money, because often the people that I haven't like really reached a point where I've like known enough rich people to ask them for money or whatever, but like the I feel like you kind of have to conform to like their way of speaking and thinking and stuff
Right,
like that.
right.
And it's like,
Whether it's individuals or like
Yeah.
confronting the industry itself, you have to talk in
Yeah.
terms of their standards,
yeah,
which is, I'm sure there are some artists who that comes really naturally to, but it seems to me like opposed to like the impulse to make art and to make something in general. Like, isn't, you want to share it with people, obviously, right?
yeah,
And having a day job sucks,
yeah.
but I don't think any artist making in good faith is doing it to, you know, make money necessarily.
No.
It's just it would be a nice byproduct because you'd like to keep making art.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, that's why, and, like, it kind of sucks, but it's like, I'm in college again right now. That's not what sucks. But the reason that I am is because, like, you know, I do the film reviews.
Right.
And, but I work for, like, a long-standing, amazing place, but they're an independent place, so, like, the money is not...
It's Film Threat, right?
Yeah.
That's the spot.
Yeah, but so it's not a situation where like the money that you receive from that is going to pay your rent in
Sure,
somewhere like
right.
New York City. So it's like and because there's so much competition in New York, you know, you have some like 22-year-old who just graduated from Columbia that wants your job that you want to get, and it's like, I don't have a degree, so the fucking 22-year-old from Columbia who knows nothing about nothing is gonna get the job,
Right,
because
right.
they went to Columbia.
And they'll do it cheaper. Or,
Exactly.
You know, like there's so many factors. And
Yeah,
the intersection of like education and like, I didn't want to say creative work, like let's just call it what it is, art making, right? Like
Yeah.
being an artist, I think is like kind of poisonous.
yes.
Like I do this a lot, right? I go to like the bookstores, McNally Jackson, and all the like Strand, the bigger indie bookstores and stuff, and look at the new fiction section, and I'll read like the synopsis on the back, the first page, and then the author's bio, and the amount of fucking debut authors that all have a fucking MFA from Columbia or Yale or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like, so the none of the voices that are getting heard by the majority of readers are people that, like, none of them
Represent.
don't have,
Yeah.
right.
Represent them. Yeah.
And it's and then, you know, every fucking new novel's about like some precocious university student struggling with their sexuality or some shit. It's
Oh my god.
like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah. Like,
I want the story about the janitor who doesn't have the time to worry about his sexuality, struggling with their sexuality. You know?
Yeah.
Like the janitor who might be gay,
Yeah.
but just can't be bothered with
Yeah.
worrying about
Yeah.
it.
yeah, he's like, while he's like plunging something, he like sees some dude and is like, but like, but that's it.
He's like, I can't even.
It's so hot. I love
This
it.
would
It's so good.
destroy my entire life.
Yeah.
I want that book. where's that fucking book?
I know, like, I mean, and also the same can be said for film, like, big time. I think even more so. Not, well, maybe with education. I mean, yes, I think with education, because there's an NYU Tisch Arts, like, direct to director's chair pipeline,
It's
it
called
seems
Mafia.
like. Yeah, and it's like, you know, there is that, and it's like, there's, and what I think is going on with film right now is that, and I think this happens over like cycles, is that B movies, or what were once considered B movies in like the 50s, are actually like the A movies now, and the movies that in the 40s and 50s that would have been considered like A pictures are independent things. So like basically I feel like when there's a war on or something, that like the movies about like superheroes and aliens and like crazy shit are gonna be like the more popular things,
Sure.
because it's like a catharsis, and then like the more personal dramatic stuff is like more independent. But it just sucks that there's like not really, that it seems like the only reason that they make dramas anymore is so that people can get Oscar nominations.
Right.
You know, like as far as like main or even independent, like, but independent is not independent anymore.
No, I
Yeah.
just found out like a couple months ago that A24 is not a production company; they're a distribution company.
Yeah.
They just buy movies that people already made, slap their logo on them, and it's like
Yes.
automatic fucking. Like,
But that is cool because it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same thing as being in the Criterion Collection. It's like you want to be on A24, like you know, you want, because distribution is actually like the most important part of the filmmaking process. So,
but isn't there also though like a problem with when you have a company like that that has put their stamp on a certain style of filmmaking, like a homogenizing effect of more people making movies trying to sell them to A24?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, the A24 movies are largely like not dog shit, so it's
cool
if things are gonna homogenize in that direction, that's probably okay.
Mm-hmm. But no, I get what you're saying, and I think that, but again, like I think that there are people everywhere, like not just here. I mean, there's definitely like a community of filmmakers that are doing a lot of cool shit here, but you know, everywhere, like, and especially regionally, like outside of New York and LA, I think there's people doing
it's
a
good to
lot
remember
of,
that those places
a lot
exist.
yeah, like I mean, and you also have to think about like Atlanta now is like a big film place, as far as like, you know, they shoot the fucking Marvel movies down there and stuff, and like yeah, but I think that there needs to be like some sort of balance, because at the same at one point, and this is for like all content, which fuck that word.
Yeah, stop saying that.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it is like poisonous.
Yeah, it's awful. But like, so all art or media or whatever is you know, is like not gonna be original at this point, because it's just not possible.
Well, there needs to. I mean, there's got to be some way, like, and it feels like the answer is some sort of institution, but that's not necessarily it. But some way to like start highlighting like artists that are not already in the institution or are not already in like the centers, so that, you know, even so that not every indie horror movie isn't only not scary but makes you miss your family, instead of like that's what those fucking movies feel like. It's just like it's a ghost story. It just makes me want to hug my mom. I don't. It doesn't make any sense. But that people are making good art all over the place. Yeah. And there's got to be some way to get that in front of people.
Well, the thing is that but there's an influx of all sorts of art and media, but it goes back to distribution. Is that there's not enough paid forms of distribution. The supply or the demand is greater than the supply. So like, it's just really hard to get paid to. I mean, this is like saying that the sky is blue,
Right.
but like it's really hard to get paid to do art. Like,
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Like it's like, Amy recently received a grant.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's an exciting new guitarist. So she received a grant for that reason.
Is the exciting new guitarist grant?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, but
Female exciting new guitarist
exciting
grant.
new female. Did you say female guitarist?
That's why I
Yeah.
know
But yeah, no, like, well, something that I was talking about, I think with when Bodega was here, is like, or Ben was saying that in other countries there's like funding from the fucking
Right.
government.
I was talking to my Swedish friend about this
Yeah.
a couple of months ago. He was saying that like you get a stipend as a Swedish artist, and what you have to do basically is you have to apply, and then you have to prove a body of work. Like you have to prove that you are consistently working on a body of work and consistently making the effort to put it on display. That's it. Which like every artist I know in New York City
Bless you.
is doing that. Is making a body of work and trying to show it to other people.
Which, okay, so I just don't understand why, like, the supposed, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this on YouTube, but why the actual greatest country on earth is not capable of supporting artists, which even in a caste system had their own like section. So, they were more important in a fucking caste system than they are in our current society. Like, as far as being paid or compensated or whatever. Like, unless you're Tom Cruise or Father John Misty or whatever.
Right.
Like,
I don't know, there's like I kind of sit on a line here where it's like the artist as some sort of like special person or something, and then also the fact that like I don't believe that anyone's not an artist. Like, everyone likes to make stuff. Like, we all like to make stuff.
Yeah.
And that should be something that's just generally culturally encouraged.
Yes.
And like, yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know if like a system of allowing people to dedicate their time to that, or more like encouraging people to do it. What would really help is like, I don't know, a 4-day work week and a living wage. Like,
imagine
that would be pretty sick. People would have a lot more time to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
I know, but like, this is very. It must be because I'm drinking like I'm on my second beer that has like a high alcohol percentage, but
Partying on the pool show.
Yeah. But like I think maybe part of the reason why that can't happen here is because we're so big and the states are so independent of each other. But like, because Canada's just as big as we are, but I think that, I don't know enough about Canada to say shit, so I'll stop. But like, I think that the reason why, like, I just think it has to do with the size of our country and the differences within the country. Like, but there's factions in like every country, but we're huge.
We're massive, and the cultural historical differences across the U.S. are staggering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The problem of affording people leisure time to pursue personal interests and like
be with their family, which
be
is
with-
supposedly so important.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, the whole thing is like, like Marx didn't say that the family should be abolished. He said that capitalism will abolish your family. Which is
Yeah.
what it's fucking doing.
Yeah.
We don't get to have families anymore because we all have to fucking work 6 fucking days a
can
week.
you imagine, like, or I mean, not even can you imagine, but like, just fucking working in like food service or retail or whatever. Holidays, it's like, oh, you don't get to have a holiday. Who are you? Like,
Yeah,
you have to serve the people who get holidays. You don't get a holiday. Like,
I mean, it's a weird perversion
you
of
know.
what work is and what work isn't, right?
yeah.
Like, retail isn't like, by that logic, like, if work merits a vacation, retail is not work then, right? Which we all know is fucking bullshit.
Yes,
Like,
because
that
oh my
is
god,
horrifying work
Yeah.
to do, and no one should have to do it more than 3 hours in their entire life.
exactly. Well, the thing is what's gonna happen. I think, kind of just like seeing what happened to like, Broadway and Soho, like over COVID, is that businesses are going to transition to more online stuff, and that a lot of people who work in like high-end fashion retail or just regular fashion retail are going to be screwed because they're like there's nowhere for there's no start. Yeah, everything's turning into a TD Bank or
right.
like, I don't know. It's really weird, like being on Broadway, like in between like Houston and like Spring and down there.
Yeah.
It's like it's really different than it used to be.
No, the storefronts haven't reopened and stuff.
Yeah. And I haven't really been around is the East Village kind of like that too? Because I haven't really been there.
I don't know. The East Village is like, I feel like it's rebounded. A lot of places that closed, new businesses are there.
Yeah.
And some cool ones, like not like it hasn't like gentrified anymore. I mean, it hasn't gentrified any more than it had when I was
Yeah,
first
There's
moved
new
here.
stuff over there. So I haven't gone over there a lot, but there's new cool like, little boutique stuff.
Boutique stuff. I mean,
Like,
there's
new stuff though, stuff that wasn't there before. There's definitely new stuff in East Village, like new.
right.
Oh, this has fancy Japanese clothes, but it's a new fancy Japanese clothes store.
Right.
It's
When
really
before,
okay, yeah,
when before it was another fancy Japanese clothes store.
yeah.
But then what is also cool about the East Village is that there's this place my friend Aaron introduced me to. It's called like Casey's Stamps or something like that. And it's this dude just makes rubber stamps that you can buy.
Nice.
Well, actually, like, wait just a second. Lindsay, can you get one of the yellow
Do we have
one of the
Casey's
yellow
stamps?
books? So
This?
yeah, one of those. So like, oh, that one doesn't really have any on it, I don't think. One that okay.
I have another one too.
Yeah, so this is my book that I wrote a long time ago. But this is one of Casey's stamps. But like basically he makes like different kinds of stamps. Like there's a plunger, I guess, and it's a butterfly.
Huh.
And but it's like this weird random store that's like somehow still able to exist.
There's a couple of those spots down there. I mean, what I mean to say it hasn't gentrified is that there's no new like big chain storefronts have really opened.
That's true.
You know, like the boutique-y stuff is still there, but like I don't know. There's a new record store.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is sick.
It good?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Ergot.
Where is it?
It's on
Ergo?
Second and second.
Is
or
it
first
Ergo?
and
It's
second.
Ergo, right?
Ergot.
Ergot.
Or is it
the
ergot?
fungus.
Ergot.
Ergot. It's like a
Ergot.
psychedelic fungus.
It's not French.
Oh, I'm stupid, you guys. Just so you know. It's a psychedelic fungus. I think I have heard about this.
Frozen wheat.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Ergot.
Ergot.
We
Or
asked the
ergot
Google,
fungi.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
and it's also a record store.
And do you buy records a lot?
I don't, but it's nice to see a record store.
Yeah, I don't anymore. I have records.
I just have a player. If
but-
I had a record player, I'd have a stack. But
Yeah, like it's just I was talking to my friend earlier and we were saying like or he was saying like I don't know who's more insufferable and you can answer this question. What you think. Film bros or record bros?
oh man,
And there's a difference between somebody who's like into film and a
and a
film
film
bro.
bro, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
So this is the distinction that has to be drawn, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're both pretty bad. They're both really, really rough. I think so. Like, a film bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like thinks he knows a lot about movies. Will
Yeah.
shame you for not knowing as much about films as he does.
Yes.
But actually doesn't
Yes.
know a lot about movies.
Yes.
Film bro's much worse.
Yeah. Okay, I actually agree with you, but I will do a defense. I will do an argument for the record bro, which is is that a lot of these people, and this is what I was telling my friend earlier, that they think that they're fucking thirsting more because they like collect unique records and think that like people should respect them because of their knowledge or whatever. And it's just like,
Right.
dude, like you have a disposable income and you like have some friends that told you about shit. Congratulations.
Right.
Like
Right.
whatever. Like
No, that's
but what's funny is that like at some point, and I don't know if you've felt this way, but like growing up, like I have dated like both of these people and thought that they were like amazing. So whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's you live and you learn.
right.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like what's weird though is that I feel like there's not really like a well, I hate. We should be like not talking about things in terms of gender because we're in a post-gender society. But like, anyway,
Working on it.
yeah. But like, insofar as I don't feel like there really is a female equivalent of a film bro necessarily. Like, I haven't met a woman that is as insufferable about movies as a man, but maybe I'm just saying that because I am a woman. I don't know. But I've never seen someone, like a woman be like, well, like going on and on and on about like the merits of like some, Francis Ford Coppola thing or whatever.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah, but then again, I'm probably full of shit. Like, but I'm sure there's
got to be.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
woman like that.
yeah. There's got to be like a few lady film bros and lady record bros out there.
Right.
There's some lady tape bros that might be present in the house, but but I don't know.
Calling out the crew during filming.
Hi.
But
The tape bro is that's a hard position to occupy.
Yes.
Everyone go to the movies. Everyone's, most people have like a record or two,
Yeah.
from when they tried to have a record collection. It's a lot of tapes.
Yeah.
And I don't even really keep them. Those are just the ones I never gave away. I'm mostly into the trading aspect of it. I used to have a whole box of them. Those are the ones I kept.
I don't know what happened on my tapes from when I was growing up.
We have TLC because Joey gave it to me before he dumped me.
You're 28, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you ever have a tape?
Oh yeah.
What was the
That's
first
my
tape?
dad's tape collection. the first tape I ever remember seeing, right, and listening to was "Bat Out of Hell."
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure my dad had that on tape.
Yeah. That's cool.
That was like one of the first records ever. My dad was like really like protective of like my interactions with his collection of music because
Oh yeah.
they like became really religious when I was like 7 or 8.
Oh, and then he's like all of this stuff.
Yeah, he's got
all
fucking
of the
Black
devil.
Sabbath and all this shit, Iron Maiden and Van Halen. He's like, you can listen to "Bat Out of Hell" and Bruce Springsteen's greatest hits. Which,
Glory days.
gotcha, Dad. The
Yeah.
Springsteen record's the reason I'm a leftist.
Yeah.
Like, Springsteen talking about labor politics.
Well, did your family still live in Georgia? Or?
No, they live in Indiana now.
Okay.
I moved to Indiana at like tail end of high school, and I went to college there for a little bit before dropping out 3 times.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
and then moved out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, like, honestly, if I wasn't in college, like, if this would have been like last year, I would be like, and like, I still kind of feel like this. I'd be like, fuck it, like, fuck school, like, whatever,
Right.
like, because I honestly do kind of feel like that. But I'm just, I really enjoy learning. I mean, I really do.
At least your life still has a purpose.
Huh?
At least your life still has a purpose.
Yeah.
What am I doing? I just sit around watching podcasts and weird YouTube shows that mostly for marketing all day. Like, what's my life? My life is fucked up.
Yeah, I'm doing this class about the mass media now and about different like forms of analysis of the mass media.
Tell the mass media they need some commercials so I can get some work.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, mass media. Lindsay is a commercial.
We need one of the commercials that is gonna come on like in the middle of this should be one that Lindsay works on.
Thank you.
Drop her name a couple more times. Get it in the algorithm.
Lindsay Tuttle works as a crafty.
Please hire Crafty Charlie, New York.
Yeah. But and also like read I think you can still buy my book somewhere.
Listen to Surf Hair on Bandcamp.
And there's and Hank is gonna have a book out.
Yeah, the Deselection's coming out on sometime in the next 2 months on Whiskey Tip Press.
And
All this small press stuff was really exciting.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of the small press stuff is bad, but the stuff that's good is really fucking good.
I hope that my small press stuff is.
No,
I'm
but
assuming it's gonna be great.
No, like I remember from the reading, and I'm sorry to anybody else that read at that reading at Gamba, that the only 2 people that I really remember their readings was you and Sergio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love Sergio.
Yeah, he's really cool.
I appreciate
I only met him that one time, and he seemed like so cool. So,
Yeah, Sergio's a motherfucker.
if you watch this, I want to hang out with you.
Sergio Satellite was good.
Yeah. So yeah, well, we can like tag all the people that we mentioned.
Yeah.
Tell them to fucking
Well, I'm gonna
watch
mention
it.
my girlfriend Amanda Lou Griffith before she gets mad at me.
Oh,
for
yeah,
not
what
having
the
mentioned
fuck?
it earlier.
Why
I was wait till the end. I've been keeping track of the time. It's been the last sort of shout out. Also, while we're plugging all this shit, Spark, Sputter, and Die on Instagram and Spotify and all podcasting stuff. That's where my podcast is happening, and Lori loves it.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely listened to it.
Yes. Yeah, she's listened to
so,
all of it.
all of it.
The
It's
whole
just so
thing.
fantastic.
Yeah, real hard hitting stuff.
No, I mean, I definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the you know, I find like this whole sort of culture insofar as like what I'm doing and probably what you're doing with your podcast and everything, where it's just like people talking shit and like people listen to it. I find it that people enjoy that. I find that to be like really interesting.
Yeah, everyone's schizophrenic now.
Yeah.
We have voices that aren't ours telling us what to think constantly.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's the death of the left hemisphere of the brain. What's going on right now? It's
Kind
a beautiful
of.
thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. It produced the Iliad, for Christ's sake. You know, it could do worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like, you know, I think that like anything that I've seen that's sort of similar to what I'm doing, which, you know, is sort of like when people are recording a podcast but they do a video of it.
Right.
I always like enjoy seeing the people, so that's kind of why I did that, because it gives like another dimension to it. And I guess it might be because I'm a film person. I have a little bit of a hard time just listening to a podcast, because what happens in my brain is I like it'll be easier to listen to yours because I know what you look like. But like what I do is I like sit there and I'm like, and if I don't know what the person looks like, I'm like, what does this person who's talking look like?
Right. Oh, I get
like,
that.
what does the room look like?
Right.
What's going on in the room with it? And just like weird shit like pops into my head.
Well,
but
it'll be really easy with mine, because mine is storytelling. It's the short story collection as audio plays.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. So there's
full music.
So there's actually like that's what's hard for me is like, if I like, I don't really listen to myself anyway, but if I was listening to this without watching it, my brain would be somewhere else entirely.
Right. That's when it starts to become like TV for your ears. Like it's just like this thing that's on, and like my headphones broke.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, a month ago,
Oh.
and I didn't buy a replacement. I was just like, I'm just gonna see if I can just like not walk around listening to something all the time.
Yeah.
And it's been really nice, because like
really?
I would listen to this like whole litany of fucking like garbage fucking political and cultural podcasts and shit.
Yeah.
And then I'd like, you know, from the train to work, and I'd get to work, unlock the door, and be like, I haven't had a single fucking thought in like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And like coming back to myself, it's like it's a very disorienting experience to have.
That's why
consistently.
I listen to music like when I'm commuting, because it just allows me to have my weird little thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
No, music's definitely better. Like, I don't know. Sitting here
But
talking
you-
shit on podcasts.
But you commute longer than most people, or no, you don't. Because your job is
my job's
when you
4
go to your
stops
job
away.
is like 4 stops away. But like
Unless
when
it's
you're going to like, where the cool people hang out in Williamsburg and Bushwick.
Yeah.
That's an easy commute too. What do you just take the R to the G?
I take the D to the G.
The D?
Yeah.
The D meets the G?
No, I get off at Barclay Center, and then walk to the Fulton stop.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know the D. That's one of those ones I don't understand.
The D is weird.
The R doesn't meet. No, the R does meet the G.
The R does meet the G, because I used to cat sit. I used to cat sit at the like Prospect Ave stop a lot.
Right.
Where does the R meet the G?
At
4th
and 9th Street.
4th and
Oh,
9th
yes,
and 4th
that's
Street, 9th Street,
true.
fucking...
I used to work out there at this place called Beer Craft, R.I.P. It was like a craft beer / sandwich place that was very interesting.
Were
And
the sandwiches craft?
Yeah.
Craft sandwiches?
Craft sandwiches and craft beer, yeah. There was like, artisanal meats or whatever the fuck you want to say. And, but like, Michael Showalter used to come there. That was cool. And, what's his name? Oh my
Why
god.
do I know Michael Showalter's name?
He's a famous comedian.
Yeah, and he's,
He was in
like,
Stella,
Wet
right?
Hot American Summer.
Okay.
Was it Stella? Yeah.
Yeah. Mike Birbiglia used to come in
Oh,
there.
that's funny.
Yeah, and
He
he's
fed
very
comics.
nice. Yeah, fed comics and gave them booze. And also, like, obviously, I enjoy drinking. Well, I used to enjoy drinking a lot more, but I enjoy it as much as the next dude. But like, working in a place with alcohol is. And then, like, you're sober. Just so happens that every single one of your fucking coworkers is drunk.
Oh yeah. And all your customers are drunk.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're babysitting.
Yes, and you're like, oh my god, I wanted to go home 2 hours ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's like the place closes. John Falvo.
Hi, John Falvo.
I'm gonna tell you to watch this because I'm telling you right now, working with you like at Beercraft, when you would be like wasted and was very difficult. But yeah, like it would be like they're all drunk and they're like wanting to just drink more, and I'm like, I want to clean the fucking kitchen and do the mopping and like all that stuff so that I can go home. Like I got like cue the violins, but like when I worked over there, I got mugged, so I had to. I got mugged in Bushwick, but I was coming back from there like late at night. But so during that time, I was like, I want to get out of here so I can get home.
Right.
So that because I'm scared and like, and the Lyft and Uber weren't really like too much of a thing at that point. So you kind of have to like call a car or wait for a cab or something like that because I was just like, I just need to be taken directly to my house. So I'd be like, y'all, like what's going on, and you're all shit faced, and they're just like, ooh.
Yeah. No, people want the
shine
after
over
hours. They
here.
want the after hours hang.
Yeah.
And there are places that you can have the after hours hang.
Yeah.
And go there. And if you don't know about the places that you can have the after hours hang, you're
deserve
not
to have
invited.
it. Yeah. You don't.
Sorry.
I used to, when I worked at the bar with Andrew Carbone, I used to get left at the bar to like clean up by myself.
Oh no.
I'm square.
That's awful.
That's
It doesn't
horrible.
matter. I'm square. I didn't want to go to the after party. I literally didn't want to go to the after party, but that meant I ended up like being alone at closing time a lot. I'm like, what?
The after hours is a lot. That's it. I've
Yeah.
only done like specific East Village after hours parties. Like once
This
or
was
twice.
East Williamsburg / Williamsburg. They would all run down to some bar on like Bedford Avenue, and I got stuck there a couple times by myself. Like, and I didn't even have a place to put the recycling. I just had to like throw it in some random lady's trash.
Oh.
I've been to like
Done that.
all multiple levels of like after hours situations and like various cities and and it's like it's never a good idea.
No.
Ever.
No.
Like
Stopping,
ever.
having your last drink at 9 a.m. after having drank since fucking 8 o'clock at night.
No.
That's not good for you.
Eating late night food when not wasted isn't a good idea.
No, it's terrible.
Even just going to the diner at 4 a.m. not drunk with some free kids is also an awful
It's a
idea.
one-way ticket to heart palpitation.
Yeah, it's like, like, I just don't, I can't do that anymore. Like, I used to be able to just, like, whoo, like, shots. Like,
Right.
And then, like, just insane. And, but, like, I say I used to be able to do this, but, like, meanwhile, like, when I did that, it's like I am, like, literally, like, throwing drinks in people's faces and, like, being
Right, you weren't
insane.
fun to
Yeah.
be around. And
Yeah.
you wouldn't recognize that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something about the COVID lockdown, like, turned me off a little bit to, like, drinking like I used to. Like,
Yeah.
I got, like, when COVID hit, I turned into a fucking mug in, like, a matter of hours. Like, or like city shut down. I was like, I am going to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning. Home cooked meals every day. We're going on a walk. Like, I turned into like, I don't know what happened. And I spent a year and I didn't drink except maybe like 3 or 4 times that whole year and a half. And the one time I did drink, I was so fucking hungover. And something about that, like that level of hangover, has like terrified me since then.
Yeah.
I still drink and stuff, but not like I used to. I don't know if it's because I'm older or found God or what.
I went with oh, we've went over.
Hey, it's 9:14. We just had a discussion about over the production office. And this has gone long. It's currently 9:14. If you want to keep going, we can keep it on. But
we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let me see if I can ask like one last question that'll make it that'll.
One zinger. Get
Yeah.
the real.
Okay, so what do you miss about the South?
The food. No one actually does good Southern food in New York. I'm convinced of it. No one's doing it.
And it's
Like-
too expensive.
Like
to do it.
at restaurants, the cornbread was fantastic. there's no restaurants that do it very well. The stuff I miss about the South is more just like stuff I miss about living in the country. And,
Yeah.
having being able to get on a 4-wheeler and shoot
Yeah.
at cans and go fishing and being out in nature and shit. You know,
Yeah.
Because there's nice cultural stuff about the South, but it's also it all still feels kind of insidious.
Yeah, it's very dark.
Everyone's so nice because they have to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's very true. Well, Will, you could come on again.
I would love to.
Yeah, but this episode is now ending. So, bye.
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 Bye.